Live from the Citrus County Auditorium, it's time for Conversations with ETAs, with your host, Tupelo Tom Brown, and his ETA friends, David Lee, Ben Thompson, Cody Dayanan, Alex Mitchell, and Emilio Santoro. With special guest Joan Embry from the San Diego Zoo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, direct from Tupelo, Mississippi, here's Tommy.
Good evening, everybody. Oh, my goodness. It is so good to see you on a Wednesday night. If you were like me, you drove a long, long time to get here, unless you live here in Florida, because it's not close. It's close to everything you want to go to, but you didn't really want to go there. You wanted to come here, and this place is always on a different side of the road than I remember. I don't know if they keep moving it every year. But I got to tell you, it's great to be here. My name is Tupelo Tom. You might have seen it up there on the big screen. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of have a conversation with some of your favorite ETAs, because sometimes I feel like they don't get to really speak as themselves and kind of tell their stories. So we're going to kick off this festival. Cody said, let's kick it off Tonight Show style, but I'm old school. I'm Johnny Carson. It's all about the guys. It's not about the host, right? They don't do that anymore. But what we're going to do, we're going to have fun. I'm so excited to be here because I tell you, today is the first day of summer. Today, around 9:50, I don't know if you knew it, the first day of summer. Keep it up, because I didn't memorize this. Today is the first day of summer, and that makes today the longest day of the year. It does. It makes it the longest. Or it's kind of like being at a David Lee show. So I'm saying it's long. I'm really saying it's long. Summertime, though, it's really a chance for us to kind of kick back, and I know some of you this weekend are just going to sit around and eat cheese and sin, but hey, that's okay too. We've got all kinds of things planned for you. But according to a survey that I read about, just for the sake of this joke, 33% of people will call in sick on a sunny Friday. 33%. And it looks, by the looks of this, it looks like 100% of you have called in for the rest of the week sick. Don't cough in my direction. It is hot in the summer, and I found a list of the sweatiest cities in the United States. And that list goes something like, by the way, I couldn't get a union cue card guy, so I got David Allen. That's right. Usually I work without Annette, but Annette couldn't be here tonight, so I got David. The number 5 sweatiest city is Tallahassee, Florida. Anybody from Tallahassee around here? Yeah, there you go. The number 4 sweatiest city, New Orleans, Louisiana. That's a different kind of Louisiana sweat there, isn't it? The number 3, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But they sweat because they have LSU. But well, they don't sweat about the rebels, so what does it matter to me? Number 2 sweatiest city, Corpus Christi, Texas. And Texas or Corpus Christi? Or maybe you're just sweaty. I'm not really sure. She's sweaty. Somebody towel her off back there. The number 1 sweatiest city is actually Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida. It's so sweaty in Orlando that Ben Thompson can actually out-sweat Orlando. That's how much Ben Thompson sweats. When Ben Thompson goes to Orlando, that's what causes a lot of the hurricanes that happen around here. All right, thank you very much. We've got, thank you, David. I have some slides for you because I feel like we have summer vacation now, and we don't get to have as many slideshows as we used to when we were kids. You know, we had slides that we would take and we would show people, and now everything's on our phone, and it's just not the same. So I wanted to have a quick little slideshow for you. You know, a lot of people have been asking me about the Tupelo Tom and Big Lou podcast, Talkin' with Tupelo Tom and Big Lou. You can clap for it. According to statistics, 37 of you downloaded it today, so we appreciate that. You might not have listened to it, but we really don't care about that. We only count the downloads. We don't care about enjoyment or anything other than the downloads. So just download it, would you? But I've got the first slide. It shows Jeff and myself working on our podcast. Jeff, now when we meet, a lot of times when we meet to talk about the podcast, Jeff loves to whip up some pasta. So we have that. And then the next one we have is when we add the secret ingredient to it. It's the vodka in the drink that won't make a full cocktail, so we just put it in the pasta. Next up, we have this shot. This was actually shot just yesterday by satellite, and that is a view of the parking lot here in back of all the trucks that Coat brought in to load. This takes a lot of trucks, I'll tell you. We had another slide here, too, that came up, and what happened was I thought that was also a slide of the trucks that were unloading for Cody, but actually that's just a slide of the trucks that were unloading Rianne's luggage. So that one was not supposed to be in there. Cody does have so much going on with this festival. He's got these fully licensed Elvis Presley Enterprises festivals because he feels it's so important to support EPE and to be able to use the Elvis name to attract people to come to these festivals, and I think that's fantastic. He has to pay for that. Let's hear it for Cody doing that. But Cody's going to be branching out. He wants to reach outside the Elvis world. He has some other festival ideas that he wanted to run by you, and based on your reaction will be if we proceed on these festival ideas or not. So he's paying attention back there right now. I said he's paying attention back there right now. The first festival we have is, go to this one. Next slide. Off the trucks. We have the Hurricane Festival. We feel like that's going to be a festival idea. It'll be the kind of festival you never have to worry about your hair, and we're not going to sell hats. So we have that one. And then the next festival, go to the next slide, we have the Tornado Fest for the Midwest. And being someone who's lived through a tornado and had a house hit by 3 trees, I'm not going to be hosting this festival, okay? I'm not going to go to the Tornado Festival. And then, of course, next up we have the Landslide Festival, which is, that kind of actually looks like the way it takes to drive to Helen, Georgia for the Jeff Lewis and Friends Festival. I think I've actually recognized that corner there. And we have one more festival that Code has worked on, and it's a kids festival. There will not be after parties, but there will be after school parties. So Jeff, the king of the after school party, will be hosting the Kids Fest for Code. And, well, we also have something else that we wanted to bring you. We have some guys coming out here, and the gentleman that we're going to be bringing out in a few minutes really are looking forward, I hope, to talking to you and telling their story. But there's one gentleman that will be coming out in a few minutes that, among all the ETAs generally acknowledge that this guy is the one that is the most centered, the one who is the most honest, and the one that you go to seek advice. And I asked David Lee, I said, David, you know, you're so centered, and not self-centered, so centered. That one didn't come out the way I had some synapses that were flashing wrong on that one. But I said, you know, who do you turn to? Who do you look to? And he, of course, looked at me, as he's done many gospel shows. And he said, Tom, you have to turn it over to one man. Turn it over to one man. Take a look at this slide. This is who he turns it over to. Keep calm. You keep calm. And woo! Oh, my goodness. Now, the producer of our podcast, I was very excited that he's going to be out a little bit later on. And I was unaware that Alex Mitchell, they had actually produced a movie about his life. It was a TV movie. Let's take a look at this. This next one is an actual TV movie that came out about Alex Mitchell. It's called We Need to Talk About Alex. starring Jack Goss and Jordan Moore, and they've done some incredible work together. This movie really told the story of young Alex, but that wasn't enough. They had a sequel that came out a few years later, a TV movie that came out. Let's take a look at the next one here. This one is The Truth About Alex. And then finally, after The Truth came out, they had one more movie, Part 3. But they didn't want to call it Part 3. They wanted to really get across the message of who Alex really is. Let's take a look at that final movie, Part 3, Alexander the Great. And he's wearing sandals. So we also have one more gentleman that'll be out a little bit later, and everybody around here loves Cody. I mean, Cody Daniff. Let's hear it. Our boss. And we had a quick shot this afternoon. Take a look at Cody. We just wanted to say hello and thank you to Cody. That's Cody on the right. Well, maybe Cody's on the left. I'm not really. Is Cody on the right of the? Well, anyway, Cody's in that picture somewhere. He's either on the left or the right. We also have a couple of Brits that'll be out here in just a few minutes. Take a look at these Brits that'll be out in just a few minutes. We have Ben Thompson and Emilio will be out, and. Oh, don't think that the bald guy on the left is who you think it is, because next slide, no, he brought Rianne. Ben and Rianne are here as well. We're so excited. She luckily won't be out on the stage because we wanted to keep the audience. And you know, the final bit that we wanted to say is we all around here love Dana and Michael Cullifer, and we're so excited that Michael's family just growing. We have one, this was the last family reunion. On this slide, and we're so, well, we've got that one. Rianne went in there and put that slide in. Oh, look at the look on Ben's face. They're actually touching. But I wasn't, my hand was floating on top of her. But that was in Tupelo, and when she came down and wanted a scarf, and I told her I didn't have a scarf, so I gave her Ben's room key, and I hear it went well that night. But finally, we do want to say congratulations to Michael Cullifer and Dana, and take a look at this last one here, second to last one, but we've got the big family reunion, the Cullifer family, always. If Cullifer doesn't stop, the next family reunion photograph will come from a satellite. And finally, from all of us at Cody Daniff and all the team backstage, take a look at this last slide. We got together for a photo shoot. We were so excited to get together on this photo for you and pose, and all of us around here we're just so excited. And I want to thank you for being here, and we're ready to bring out our first guest. What about that? I'm going to go sit down. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, these ETAs have a dream come true to get on stage and be Elvis, and I get a chance every now and then to be on stage and be Mr. Carson. So thank you for that.